Morning.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So basically, this is obviously Android Auto, and Android Auto is an extension of the Android operating system. So obviously, when we see people using phones in cars today, it's not the most fantastic situation, not just because it's unsafe, but also because, you know, when we're looking at the applications that people are using, they're fundamentally not optimized for a driving experience. So hopefully this is something that we can address with this kind of like platform. So basically it's very simple. So everything will be powered entirely by the phone. So we will get data from the car, and then we will kind of basically look at that data and then render the appropriate UI like on the screen. So this is just a standard head unit. It's a head unit that's compatible with this system. So those will be available at the end of this year. And basically, although I'm not sure from GM, that you'd have to ask the GM representative when this one will be available. But basically, I just plug it in, and then you can just see that it's going to start connecting. And then you can just see the screen goes blank. The screen goes blank because we don't want people to be using their phone while they're driving. So you can just leave that down there. And then we can just touch the button and we're immediately into our system. So I'll just give you a brief overview. This is called the activity bar. And as kind of like Patrick Brady this morning kind of talked about in the keynote, we really try to look at what kind of things that people are doing in a car today, or what kind of activities that they need. And we can pretty much sum them up into actually three basic things. So people want to be able to navigate, they want to be able to communicate, and of course they want to be able to listen to their media and music and stuff like that. And we've got a couple of other things here as well. We've got, this is for other types of car-related applications and services that don't fall into those categories, because obviously we can imagine other types of things happening within a connected car as well. And we can also see this one here, which is the space that we're in already, which is called the overview. So the overview is basically where we can kind of present kind of like intelligent or kind of just-in-time and contextual information to the user. So, for example, if I was sitting at home and I was looking for Mama G's on the internet, is like looking for her address, and then basically, you know, Google says, "Oh, you were looking for Mama G's. Here is." You know, here is the easiest way to navigate that. Or if I was listening to music just before I got in the car, that experience can continue with me into the car as a seamless kind of like one thing, you know, one seamless experience. Or if I'd missed a call, or, you know, I can easily kind of pick that call up while I'm driving. So we can either start off, maybe let's just kind of go here. I'll just show you kind of in order. So this is the Maps application, and so should be very familiar. It kind of looks like Google Maps. We've got a couple of things that's worth noticing. We've got what we call the menu drawer on the left-hand side, and we've got the microphone here. If you look at the microphone, actually we have a microphone button on the car. Yeah. So obviously it's better in some ways if we try to keep our hand on the wheel, we can use the microphone like this, but we also offer it here as well. So these are pretty much consistent and available on, you know, throughout the entire system. So if we just go in here, we can just do typical kind of Google Maps things. We can get suggestions of places to go based on our history. We can look at categories. Hey, I really need a gas station, or I need to find somewhere to park. So you can see it's just like very quick to kind of get there. Or again, I can ask for gas stations or ask for parking. It can show traffic. Look at that. Awesome. I'm going to drive home tonight. That's going to be fun. I live in South Bay, so that's going to be really entertaining. Anyway, and we can, of course, now I've been talking about voice a lot, but we can just say something kind of like, you know, navigate to Alamo Square.
Navigating to Alamo Square, San Francisco.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Okay, so the connection's a little bit slower than usual, but you kind of get the idea. And then obviously, actually, this whole system that we're looking at is actually a fully functional system. The only thing that we've kind of like canned, I suppose, is we've pre-populated the movement along the GPS. So that's the only thing that's different from the systems that we're working with and testing all the time. So you can see that we just do that. We have the normal things. Actually, can unmute it so we can listen to the voice, or I can try and find an alternative route. I like the one that we've got. So you can see pretty much this is like a almost fully featured kind of Google Maps based kind of driving experience.
Use the right 2 lanes to turn right onto Howard Street.
Mute navigation.
Muting voice guidance.
So I don't want the voice guidance because I want to talk to you. And if the voice guidance is constantly talking, how can I talk? So anyway, so you can see that it's pretty easy to use. And this is just the thing. So basically we can just dial people from here, or if Sally's somebody I call kind of frequently, I can either say call Sally, or I can again touch the button. Sometimes it's just easier to touch the button, you know what I mean? So, but again, we try to think of this as a voice first experience. This is actually calling one of the phones down here. There you go, and there it's ringing, and you can see, like, for example, if I was calling a doctor, you know, sometimes it says the robocall says dial 1 for extension 32 or dial. So we have that kind of like functionality kind of like easily available. Again, I'm just going to hang up, and then obviously we're going to get to music, so we can listen to music as well. So we can just do this. Now I can rewind that to the beginning. And so again, this is a typical kind of Google Play music that we're kind of used to seeing. You can do things like saying, I really like this track, or I'm not so sure, or I can start a radio station based on this track. Or you can do things kind of like, you know, Listen Now, which recommends you kind of music based on your listening history. Or I can go to my playlists and say, actually, you know what, I want to play something from that. I think oh no, okay, so it's going to start me there. And you notice that we're kind of doing things where we're being a little bit aggressive in some ways about how we're presenting stuff to the user. So if you think about normally when you go to Google Play Music, you'll see this, then you'll see another list of like, okay, which track within this list do you want to select? But we're just saying, well, no, actually, we're going to try and just pop you into the first item. And this is because in some ways we've tried to model like how cars have worked historically. You know, there's a radio buttons. When you push the radio button, it's not asking you to then start browsing.
Yeah,
you know, the music just comes out. And if you want to do something different, well, then you go and retune. And it's the same for us. You know, if you want to navigation stuff, and you can see that, again, you know, even though we're in here, we're still getting the right information that we need right at this moment. But again, like I was going to say, like the radio button, I can just go off and either kind of find something different, or I can ask for something different. And then you can see the other things in the queue, whatever. I'm actually just going to... All right, so we're just, while the navigation's going, excuse me. We can do things, we have other music applications that are available. So you can see, actually, we've got quite a lot in there. Excuse me, bye-bye. And so we can just go to something like Spotify. And again, all of these are kind of like functional. Let's just go in here. I think that's buffering right now, excuse me.